Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're getting into my top 5 ryes of 2025. So I was gonna do the giveaway for the part 1 of this week series, I guess. But I'll give you guys an extra day. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna record Monday's video tomorrow. If you're watching this and you haven't entered in Monday's video's giveaway, you still got a chance. So let's get into the bottles that are in today's video. In no particular order, because that's what we're finding out today, is what these 5 are going to be in which places. We have the Smokeeye Hill Barrel Proof Rye. This is a 5-year. We have the Elijah Craig Bottle Your Own. This is Y725. This is probably the one that's probably the least amount of bottles out in the market, but it's so damn good. And you know, if you got this bottle, I'm pretty sure you know how good this is. So it is one of my favorite ryes this year. It's going in. We got the Jack Daniel's Tanyard Hill, and this is a 136.5 proof, so it's not one of the hazmat ones. Probably the rarest and most hard to find bottle up here. Let's follow that up with the easiest, this damn Sazerac Rye 125 proof. And if you've been watching the part 1 and 2 of these videos, this has just been blowing my mind in the blinds. And for $35, $4 bottle, I try not to recommend bottles because a lot of bottles I review are just expensive, and I don't want you guys to go out there, buy like a $200 bottle and then just hate me because you don't like it. With this one, I will recommend this to anyone because it's so cheap. Even if you don't like it, you're not losing out too much money, but it is so good, and for the price, it's such a good value. Then we also got this old Overholt 12-year Cask Strength. So these are my top 5. Let's see which one comes out in first place. All right, let's get to nose on A. Great nose on A. Sweet, nutty, red fruit, red Jolly Rancher, oak, vanilla. Let's start thinking in my head, these are ryes. See if I can get any kind of rye note. I got a slightest amount of rye, so I threw that in there. But again, like most of these this week, a lot of them weren't very rye forward. Let's go to B. All right, B on the nose. Definitely a roller coaster on the nose there because it started off one way and ended a whole different way. So we got dusty, marshmallow, toasty, which was kind of the beginning. Then there was a good amount of actual rye influence, rye spice, some earthiness. And then towards the end, it got sweet purple Jolly Rancher. Pretty good nose. It had definitely in the middle of the nose had a significant amount of rye influence. You know, maybe if you weren't paying attention, you might have skipped that right over, but my job is not to skip things. Okay, let's go to C. All right, C on the nose. It wasn't as intense as the first two. Toasty marshmallow, so it kind of came off a little bit like B. Sweet oak, then slight nutty, slight rye, and for the Marines out there, slight crayon. So, okay, nothing really bad about it. I do enjoy A and B's noses a little bit better than C. Let's go to D. All right, so D, the most rye forward out of I think I've had all week, at least on the nose. Green, rye, crafty, did seem younger than some of these other ones. Did have a good amount of sweetness, like a honey direction, but overall, kind of a younger rye. Go to E. All right, E is interesting because it's intense in your face, but a lot of the notes are slight. So let me try to explain this. So the intense part is like toasty, oak, marshmallow, E. That is like the strong notes in your face, but there's a slight marker note, there's slight nuttiness, and slight banana note. Overall, pretty good. It is in your face, and there's nuances there with it. I think I liked A and B on the nose. But let's get into the palates. All right, the palate, pretty good. The finish, again, usually the first finishes aren't the best, but we'll get there. On the palate, strawberry Laffy Taffy, oak, vanilla, sweet, nutty, intense. Overall, very good palate. On the finish, vanilla, nutty, marshmallow, oak, but it kind of is like that watery oak, which it's on the lingering notes and it's not my favorite. But first sip, let's go to the second one. All right, the palate stays the same for the second sip. Finish got better. There's some smokiness and sweetness now, and it doesn't give me that watery note, which usually happens 75% of the time. Third sip. So on the third sip, I wrote slight smokiness on the palate as well. I was kind of getting on the second sip, but I was kind of wanting to confirm that on the third one, and it was there again. Overall, pretty good. Let's go to B. All right, enjoyed B, especially on the finish. The finish got really green Jolly Rancher. On the palate, toasty, wood, Purple Jolly Rancher, green apple, rye spice. Definitely more rye forward than A. On the finish, green Jolly Rancher, a significant amount of it. Sweet, woody vanilla. Go to second sip. Decent, really like it. What I was getting this time a little bit more of was nuttiness on the palate and finish, specifically more that hazelnut direction. Third sip. Man, every sip is a different experience. So this time, it's a lot of the same notes, but I'm picking up more things. So I got dark honey on the palate, and on the finish, more red fruit. It was more like lively on the finish. Do you like that? Do I like it more than A? They're right there. They're not completely different profiles, but definitely different. Let's go to C. All right, C definitely gives me the experience of a higher aged bourbon. No, we're drinking ryes. I didn't get very rye forward notes, but what I was getting was like richer notes, not very flavorful. It made it just the first sip thing. We'll see. Oak, slate marker, sweet, richer, a better mouthfeel, like it's, you know, oilier. Vanilla on the finish, sweet, rich oak vanilla. So it gives me the notes of something and like an elevated pour, but it's not giving me a lot of flavors. Hopefully it's a, I don't want to say hopefully, because it is good. It is very good, but I would like to get, you know, some notes. So we'll see on the second sip. I mean, it's phenomenal. So I wrote underline vanilla because it's a vanilla bomb, but like rich vanilla. It's hard to explain, but it's very rich. Rich oak, rich vanilla. Again, it's like you're drinking something elevated. I don't know which one this one is. I'm guessing it's one of the older ones, but none of these are really old except the old Overholt. All right, so second sip. I love this. This is phenomenal. It's just not a lot of different flavors. What you're getting is an elevated experience. It's very rich. The rich oak and rich vanillas are what's really you're getting on the palate. Some nuttiness, some rare fruits. On the finish, I wrote marshmallow, but again, it's still that rich oak, rich vanilla. It doesn't change too much from the palate to the finish. More or less, it's the same experience, which is a good experience. It's something that I would think 90% of us would love, absolutely love, but it's not like a one that you're really thinking about too much. It's just very, very, very good. One more sip. I mean, I love it. It's not complex though. This is the whole battle all the time with me, is you can have something like this where it's super, super good, but not complex like A and B. So where are you getting more points on? I go off of what do I like more, and C is freaking good. So we'll see if when I go back and forth and stuff. But let's go to D. All right, so I think D had the misfortunate of going after C. It came off very youthful. And on the nose, it was kind of doing that same thing. So curious on A and B, that it's not coming off a C, how it's gonna do. But on the first sip anyways, it didn't come off very good. So crafty, green, sweet, cardboardy. Now the cardboard note is part of what I consider crafty. Crafty for me is like the cardboardy note with grain. But it was a good amount of cardboard that I just wrote it as a separate note. On the finish, sweet, green apple. So not overly complex and not the best notes, but I'm hoping that coming off of itself, it'll start getting a little bit better. Because all of these are the best ryes that I drank this year, so I can't have one that's not good. What did I do to myself? All right, it is similar to the first sip, so it's not like it got significantly better, but a couple of more notes. Slight green Jolly Rancher, rye spice. On the finish, vanilla and rye spice. You definitely can tell it's a rye and like a younger rye. One more sip. Yeah, that third sip coming off of itself, twice now. It definitely tasted better overall, but still probably in last place out of the first four. But I do enjoy it. It's just coming off of whatever C is, it shows its youthfulness. Let's go to E. All right, E, it tastes very proofy, and the proof points on this, they're all pretty high. I think the lowest one is 117, the highest one is like 136, but there's like three over, between 131 and 136. But this one drinks the proofiest. We'll see, maybe it's just the first sip thing. But on the palate, oak, cola, black marker note, vanilla, proofy. On the finish, cola, oak, proofy, banana. So again, that proofy note definitely showed out on this one, but we'll see. Second sip. Oh boy, he just got worse for me. So it came off proofy again, still got that black marker note, and I got freezer burn as a note this time on the palate, the marker note on the finish as a note. Overall, it's still not terrible. I will say that. It's somewhat enjoyable, but there's those notes that I'm not the biggest fan of that are showing up. Let's check the third sip. All right, the third sip, probably the best sip out of them all. I didn't get too much of the off-putting notes. It just seemed more richer this time. Again, underlying a lot of proof notes there, proofiness there. All right, so I'm gonna take a break, drink some water, and come back, and I'll probably leave in the AB for you guys because it's top 5. So let you guys see the whole thing, because I could already see, you know, knowing the bottles that are in here and how I'm scoring this, I can kind of see that you guys are gonna want to need an explanation of why I'm scoring some of these lower than others. So I'll be sure to show everything for you guys. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I drank plenty of water, took a 5-10 minute break, and I'm going right to my last place, which was D. And it's last place because it comes off youthful, and some of these are just so much better. Let's try it. Yeah, so unfortunately it's still cardboardy youthfulness. And you get cinnamon on the finish this time. That's probably gonna stay in last place. So let's go to, I want to go to E next. I went to E after D last time. So let's go to A. All right, A, very good. You know, especially coming off from like this end of the group, kind of going back over here, we're kind of going back and forth now. You know, A, B, and C were in front on the first 3 places, and D and E were in the bottom 2. A is showing why it was better than these 2. And I didn't want to go from D to E like I would usually. So I usually go from last place to kind of first, but I already did D then E. I kind of threw A in there. We'll see how E does. E is blowing my mind over here. Not like in a good way. Not in a bad way. Let me rephrase this. It's blowing my mind because it has such good qualities to it, but also has some not so good qualities to it. So it's a mixed bag. And man, that second sip just now, because you know, I drink the water and I take 2 sips. I take 2 sips because I feel like the first sip has more of that water influence, just like residue on my tongue or whatever. And that first sip wasn't that good, but that second sip was really good. And comparing it to the first 3 sips when we're going through it, it's probably my favorite sip, but it still has a couple of those notes I don't like. Like that marker note's still there. It does drink proofy, but overall it's rich, it's complex, it's good. I don't think it's better than A though. Now let me just A-B these real quick. I went back and forth a couple times between A and E. And I thought I was gonna actually have E go above A, I think maybe the first time, but I'm gonna keep A above E, at least for now. So I just drank some water. I need to go to B, and I'm probably gonna have to A, B, A, and B. B is still very complex and very good, very enjoyable, but knowing that I had A so much at this point, I think I'm gonna go, well, I was probably gonna do it anyways, but I gotta kind of compare it to A. I feel like A is just a richer experience. So we'll see, maybe A can leapfrog B, which then means I gotta A, B, B, and E, because they'll be in the same area. All right, so I went back and forth on A and B, and I do like A slightly ahead of B. So now, I'm gonna take back B, because now I gotta compare B and E, because now they're, point-wise, they're not that close, but I haven't compared them, so might as well do that. So let me go to E. Problem with E is there's too many issues with it. It has a lot of good things going for it, but it has a marker note. Every time I've had it, I think I had the marker note. And there's a couple other things that are kind of, I don't want to say stringency, but it's fighting itself. E is self-sabotaging over here because it has such good qualities, but then, man. All right, so I'll have B above E. I think I should try C. Okay, again, C isn't complex. It's that richness that I really enjoy. Now I have to compare it to A. Oh boy, A is about to move up like 3 spots during this A being part, because it was in 3rd place going through, even going back and forth between A and C. C overall is just something I love. That richness is just so good. Now it slightly beats out C, but we'll go into scoring right now. Well, let's do the giveaway before you guys all yell at me in the comment section. Oh my goodness, what happened today? Wow. Okay, let's do the giveaway. So if you want to try all 5 of these and do your own blind and let me know what you got out of this lineup, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with top 5 rye. TOP 5 RYE. You guys already know this is one that I'm losing words right now. Lost of words, because lost of words? How this ended up happening. Okay, let's just get into it, because I apologize to everyone. All right, in last place was a Smokeeye Hill barrel proof 5-year, and Peter from Whiskey is a Journey, I apologize for recommending this bottle because it didn't do so well. I know you were drinking it lately and you do enjoy it, but man, compared to some of these other ones, it was definitely at the bottom of this list. All right, I got distracted in writing down all the things so I know what to do later on. In 4th place is the rarest and most expensive bottle up here. And I'm sure people are throwing shit at their screens right now. The Jack Daniel's Tanyard Hill. Man, it's, you know, I kind of, in the back of my head, is like, I hope this isn't Tanyard Hill. That damn marker note that is sabotaging Jack Daniel's lately came back again to sabotage another Jack Daniel's product. And I love Jack Daniel's this year. Comparing them to some of the other high level bottles that are coming out, it's showing that marker note, I think, a little bit too much. And I really enjoy it, but 3.9, and let me tell you, there's a bottle up here that is significantly cheaper and easier to find, hopefully. You know, I know we haven't been distributed a lot, but we'll get to that. Oh, let's see the next one. So the Sazerac 125 proof just beat the Tanyard Hill, and I did compare B and E side by side, and that marker note brought this down. And there's the thing is, the Sazerac 125, is it super rich? Is it super just amazing? No, but there's nothing wrong with it, and that's the problem with the Jack Daniel's Tanyard Hill, at least for me today, because there was some notes that were off-putting for me today. But this Sazerac 125, now I didn't win today's blind, but I won 2 blinds this week, and you know, it came 3rd place overall for my Rise of the Year. It's at 35 to 45, let's just say $45, depending on the MSRP in your area, right? Now, Connecticut, we still haven't got them. I know from the comments all week, you guys haven't been seeing it yet, but I'm gonna tell you right now, once it hits your market and you see it, do not hesitate to buy it. If it's at MSRP, like 35 to 45, would go with that price range. You pick up this bottle and you compare it to your other Ryes and kind of tell me that it's not worth that price point, because it has been killing bottles way more expensive than it all week long. And you know, it's not like I own Sazerac, like it's not I'm pushing it, it's just, it is what it is. In a blind, all these other bottles are more expensive than it. All the bottles this whole week have been more expensive than it, and it's been doing very, very well. And if I haven't sent the scores, because I've been very bad with saying the scores all week, the Sazerac score of 4.1, the Tanyard Hill score of 3.9, Smokeeye was a 3.75. Then we go to our top 2, which in 2nd place was Old Overholt 12-year with a 4.2. This is phenomenal, and it's not that expensive. I'm pretty sure it's under $100 off the top of my head. But then we have this Elijah Craig Y725. This is the buy your own thing. The release that they came out with, the C925, was it the C925, I'm guessing? That came out last year. Didn't live up to this, and it was older, according to what we were told about this bottle, but it was lower proof, so maybe that's part of it, right? You know, age versus proof, you know, where do you fall in that debate? But this is an amazing bottle. I'll tell you right now, I'd recommend these 3 bottles all day long. Obviously, this is probably no longer a thing. I did hear today that Connecticut just got the new Elijah Craig barrel proof A126, I guess. Apparently we just got this. We haven't even got the regular Elijah Craigs or the Larcenies, but somehow the Rye just came in today. I just saw a post about it. I will be on the hunt for that and kind of compare it. I have heard that it is good. I'll definitely compare that to the last batch. But man, this bottle was supposed to be some of the best Ryes that we've ever seen. And I know it's a single barrel, and the hazmats were the ones that everyone got to review, like the bigger whiskey tube channels. They all got like a hazmat bottle and they all were raving about it. But this 136, it is good, but some off-putting notes. So the fact that the Sazerac Rye, man, my brain just can't handle what's happening right now. All right, so you know what? If you stay to this long, put in your comment secret. Just write secret in your comment anywhere. Just like, you know, it's like commently just in there somewhere. And I'll do a second giveaway to do another 2 ounce subs, because I got plenty of this whiskey left, and I need multiple people to try this blind with me. Just throw that in there. I'll do a second giveaway. Let me write this somewhere over here so I remember. But man, get yourself a bottle of this. Don't do nothing stupid, and if you do, don't get caught. Bye.